Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Just wanted to show you Leela being territorial. So I know I've talked to you guys about it in some of my other videos, but she's just going to the bathroom. It is a snowy day here today. Oh my goodness. It's a big peepee. Yeah, so Leela is like I said, she's really territorial. No, come! I don't want her to go down there. Good girl. No one's gonna break into our yard. So I have one rule. The rule is that she can be like this, but I have control. So when I call her, she has to come and she has to stop. That's the rule. So see how her tail is really high, her ears are up, she's like, her body's a bit stiffer. So that's tell sign. See, she's like looking around. So that's her territorial behavior. She's very sort of aroused. So see, Leela, come! But see, she came right away. That's the key. And then I'll let her out again. Okay. No, come. Good. Good girl. Okay, good. Stay here. Good. So that's the rule. I just wanted to show you guys. So she's definitely territorial. You can see she is looking and watching out for everything. It's in her genetics. It's really in her genetics. I've tried to sort of stop it, but it's really sort of, it's in her genetics, and there's probably some things I can do to minimize it, but I've just decided that the rule is when I call you, you come, and when I say enough is enough. Until then, you know, you can do your job and you know, guard the property, but when I say enough is enough, it's enough. So how do I handle people coming to my house, or if I have like guests coming to the backyard? In that case, I put her on a leash. I'll talk to you guys about it inside. So cold. Come, let's go. So I just brought her in. What are you doing? Okay. Yeah, so when I have people coming over, I put her on a leash, and then I have her like sit beside me. I let them come in. I don't let her greet them. I don't let them greet her. She sniffs them out. You know, she'll air sniff them. She watches them. And then after a few minutes, I'll say, okay, I'll release her. She can go have a sniff of them. And then she's sort of free. So for Leela, she has it's very difficult for her when people enter her environment. Once they're already here, she settles down and she accepts them. It's just the initial entering of somebody new into the home or into the backyard. So like I had a birthday party for my daughter a few weeks ago, and it's about 10 people, and I had her on a leash when they came in. I had her in a sit. I didn't let anyone interact with anyone. I let her observe probably about 5 minutes, not that long of a time. She, you know, she was able to get a scent of them, and then I released her and she went up to them. She sniffed them. Still, I didn't let them like pet or interact her. It was just about her getting a sniff for them. And then a few minutes later, I took her off leash and she was totally fine and accepted them. And even a little bit later into the event, she started going up to them for pets and she was much more relaxed. So it's the same thing. So for her, and a lot of dogs are like that too, territorial dogs especially, it's about the new person or people entering the environment. That's where they struggle. Once they're here in the environment, they calm down and they accept them. It's just the, you know, the presence of that new person coming in is really hard. So that's what I do, because if I just let her, you know, in the yard and guests just walked in through the gate, she would run up to them and she would definitely scare the shit out of them. She wouldn't, I don't think, again, I haven't tried it, I don't want to take the risk, and I don't think she would ever bite anybody. But I mean, she's a dog, and dogs, you know, they're predators and they're territorial and they have these instincts. So to never say never when it comes to dogs is not really responsible. But in general, you know, what I know about Leela, she would run up to the person, she would charge them, and pretty much just stand there and bark at them until I called her off. So that's what she would do. So obviously I don't want to scare the shit out of my guests. So I always have her with me on leash. I allow the guests to come in. I give everybody space. She can watch them and then she's fine. So if you have a territorial dog, I know that it can be, stressful, but at the same time, we have to remember, like, especially for Leela, she's a Doberman, it's in her genetics to protect and guard. That's literally like what her blood, is all about. So, are there Dobermans who are not territorial at all? Yes, there are. But the fact that she is territorial is not, out of the blue. It's very sort of breed-like. And so I'm just working with it. So just know your dog. Know, like, some dogs, if the guests enter, they're so territorial that you won't be able to have them off leash in the house comfortably. You may have to crate them in there, and you may not be able to have them, be around your guests freely. You have to really know your dog. You obviously don't want to put your guests, in risk. If you're not 100% sure, just put a muzzle on your dog and see how they do. Just know your dog, know, sort of what they're capable of. But most dogs, at least, with Leela and some other people I know, it's just that initial, it's territorial, right? Take them in public, they're perfectly well behaved, not reactive. Suddenly, there's a new person on your property and it's a huge deal. It makes sense. They're protecting the property, right? That's their job. So that's what I do with her. I let her protect and guard and, look out for things. But when I say enough, it's enough. When I say come to the house, it's come to the house. There's no negotiations. Also, I wanted to just mention, like, she's not wearing an e-collar. She just knows the rules sort of from all the training and being consistent. So again, if you do have a territorial dog and you are going to, allow them to be territorial, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But you have to have control. So if you call them away from the fence, let's say they're fence fighting or doing something they shouldn't be doing. Fence fighting is not good, but let's say they're barking at the neighbor or whatever. As long as you have control, you should be making sure, it's okay for them to alert you that somebody's at the door. It's okay for them to alert you that there's, somebody walking by the fence. That's why you have a dog, right? But they have to listen to you. That's the part that's key. And so it's important to make sure that you have that relationship, and that they know that when you tell them enough, it means enough. So you're basically telling them, like, hey, thanks for the alert. I got this now. Don't worry anymore. So that's really what the mindset should be. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I know that on some videos, I've talked about how, that's kind of the one thing with her is she's very territorial. And I wanted to share sort of how I manage that. And I wanted to show you a little bit about what it looks like, what kind of body signals to look out for. So, she goes from, like, right now you can see she's licking her feet, her ears are relaxed. She doesn't have any hackles, but when I was outside, you could see her hackles went up. Every time she's out there and she's being territorial, her hackles go up. Her tail is, straight up in the air. Her body stiffens, and her ears perk up. So those are like the signs. Hackles is like the first sign of that arousal, and it's going to start. In the tail is a really true sign. So yeah, so hope you guys found this video interesting. Please feel free to reach out, if you have a territorial dog or if you have any kind of challenges. I'm happy to sort of share, what I've learned and my personal experiences. I know that it can be, a little bit difficult to deal with, but I do think that definitely with some work and understanding of sort of what's going on, you can definitely, get it under control and even embrace it. You want your dog to be protection and keep your family safe and guard the property. So it's a good thing as long as you have control. All right, guys, feel free to chat with me, and thanks so much for watching my video. Bye.